Hello everybody, and welcome to Wounded Healer Tarot. My name is James, and I'll be doing your reading today. This particular reading is for the sign of Capricorn. Now we're going to take a look into the current energies that are influencing you, and then after that, I'll do my usual 9-card tarot spread to dig a little deeper into the energy. Alright, 1, 2, 3. These are very earthy colors and also very earthy energies, so this is so far making a whole ton of sense for Capricorn. Alright, let's see. Okay. At the bottom of the deck here, we have card number 3, Dreaming. And then we have card number 5, Hiding. And then we have card number 4, Knowing. Alright, so for one thing, I feel like, your dreams are going to be very significant. So I would really pay attention. Maybe, start dream journaling if you don't already. Maybe keep, a little notebook next to your bed, whether it's in a drawer on your side table or on top of the side table. You could even use the notes app in your phone if you don't feel like writing, and just record your dreams for a bit. And I feel like they'll make a lot more sense if you read them later on, right? I feel like, when you wake up, while it's still fresh in your mind, get it all out, write it down. Don't try to make sense of it just yet. And give yourself some time throughout the day, right? Because sometimes we'll forget our dreams during the day, but there will still be bits and pieces that'll randomly come to us, whether it's because it was triggered throughout something that happens at some point throughout the day, or just a particular movement, or being in a particular place. There's so many different things that can trigger a remembering of a dream. But with hiding, I get you've sort of taken a step back from people. You could be planning something here, and that's why you're maybe creating some distance between you and maybe whether it's a particular person or a whole group of people, it doesn't really matter. But here with hiding, I feel like this is speaking to a sort of distance that you're putting between you and someone else, in order to really, I want to say think on something, to really evaluate something and put together a plan. I get the vibe of a plan to move forward with somebody. And with knowing, I get you're gonna really have to be utilizing your intuition here. You're really gonna have to be going off the cuff and following that gut feeling. I feel like you really are being asked to listen to your body at this time, not just your dreams, but also your body here. And I also feel like with this hiding card, right, there could also be a sort of nurturing that you're doing right now. Because with the cat hiding in the box that's in a giant basket of assorted fruits and stuff like that, possibly even vegetables, I get the vibe that you're also taking this time to nurture the self. You may be paying extra attention to what you're eating, to what you're putting in your body, so that can account for the fruits in the basket. You could be eating a lot more fruits. You're really paying attention to your health. And I feel like there are just particular things that you're taking care of as you, distance yourself from who or whatever here. And I feel like that's because you're being intuitively led to do that. And I'm really curious about this dream card. I'm not going to further clarify it. I'm going to use my self-control and not do that. But let's get into the spread here. We first have card number 2, feeling, which speaks to the heart chakra, the need to be vulnerable. So I definitely get the vibe that there's eventually going to be some sort of conversation here where you're going to be required to be open, to be vulnerable with how you feel or how you've been feeling. And also with the dreaming, that's also speaking to, following your intuition. Because, if you think about it, dreams are like a sort of intuitive hit, in a sense. Because if you think about it, dreams are created by the subconscious thought, right? The subconscious things in our mind are coming up to the surface via dreams. Alright, come on, where is this? Alright, card number 2, feeling. Action, open the heart, advice, embrace vulnerability. Open yourself to every feeling associated with your situation. Embrace the entire emotional spectrum, the light, the dark, and every shade in between. Allow an open flow and know you are protected. Emotions can't hurt you, even the scariest and saddest. The darkness defines the light. Darkness encourages the light shine brighter. Embrace dark and light with equal openness. Resistance breeds confusion. Repression is blockage. Journal for clarity, as I was talking about journaling, the dream journal. Walk for inspiration. Allow music to bring tears of melancholia and joy. Forget the mind and focus on your own heartbeat without judgment. March to the beat of your own drum. Know you are protected in all areas. Emotions are a way of gauging life's rhythms and results. Feel emotions without reacting out of them. Those who respond out of emotion are not acting in authenticity. Do not linger in extreme emotional spaces. Our feline friends prefer relaxed states of being and are happy to model this for us. Follow their lead. Yep, I can definitely say that's true about cats. But yeah, it's like I was saying. I feel like, journaling in general, maybe not even just dream journaling, but just journaling in general, I feel like will really help you to gain a new perspective on what's going on inside of you. It'll really, I feel like, help you to make sense of, everything that you're feeling. And now, I really enjoy with this card how they speak on, embracing the entire emotional spectrum. Because, a lot of people just look at emotions in, a very black and white manner, but here it even speaks about, the feelings in between. It's not just dark and it's not just light. There's going to be those gray areas, right, where you're not exactly sure. And again, I feel like journaling will really help you make sense of everything. And, as well as it mentioning, emotions can't hurt you, even the scariest and saddest. Like, yeah, you may feel hurt because of those emotions, but they can't actually hurt you, if that makes sense. Right? And I'm not saying that this is just in your head, but, like, emotions are internal. And, just like sexuality, right? Emotions are fluid. They change. You're never going to feel one thing for the rest of your life, right? Your feelings are going to be back and forth, and that's normal. That's healthy. You're not meant to feel one thing forever. You're meant to feel a multitude of feelings. I really enjoy here where it states, journal for clarity, walk for inspiration, allow music to bring tears of melancholia and joy. Forget the mind and focus your own heartbeat without judgment. March to the beat of your own drum and know you're protected in all areas. And then where it speaks of, feeling emotions without reacting out of them, stating those who respond out of emotion are not acting in authenticity. Like, again, to me that speaks to, the fluidity of emotions. So if you were to react out of emotion, you're just reacting out of something that you're feeling in that moment. And that may not be a good look, because when we react out of emotions, more times than not, it's very intense. It's very, I want to say, like, whereas it may make sense in that moment, in the long run, you'll realize that probably was not the move to make. That may cause a sort of regret here. But moving on, the next card we have here is card number 14, Sleeping. Now, the action for this card is Let It Go. And then the advice for this card is Relax and Release. And I love, at the end of the last card, they're saying, how cats enjoy being in a relaxed state, right? I feel like you're being asked to really just, take a step back, release certain things, so that you can find yourself in that relaxed state, so you can create peace in your life. Excuse me. Now, the description of the card reads, Rest is well earned. You have worked well, and now you can surrender to bliss. Know that when you wake, a new possibility will appear. Rest is as important as action. Restore and renew the body. The mind and body requires rejuvenation. Allow slumber to course through your body. Healing as every minute unfolds. Allow fear, insecurity, and troubling thoughts to leave your body, which grows heavy with relaxation. Dreams bring inspiration. Dreams, definitely dream journal, please. Purr deeply and know you are not missing out as you regenerate your mind, body, and spirit in the sleep sweet nectar. Feel and know you are supported and secure. Nothing can harm you. The cat is master of the art of letting go. Deep slumber is required for those who embody truth within the physical self. The cat is always true to its posture, muscle memory, and reactive senses. Excuse me. This is why feline sleep is deeply committed and heavy. Feel your physical self and connect to your own flesh, blood, and bones until your body is as heavy as a sleeping cat. Deep sleep is as important as activity. Commit to each when the time is right. Keep your eye on your goal, yet allow it time to develop while you turn your attention to restorative things. Breathe deeply. Yeah, keep your eye on your goal, yet allow it time to develop while you turn your attention to restorative things. That to me speaks of that hiding card where you were like, you were peeking out from, the open corners of the box to keep an eye on someone or something, but you're still staying hidden and you're still, taking that time to yourself. And I love all the synchronicities here within this card too, where they were talking about dreams being inspirational, how they're saying, feel and know you are supported and secure, nothing can harm you. That going back to how, saying the universe really supports you and what you're doing right now. It's not that nothing can go wrong, but if you, follow your intuition here, you're going to be led in the right way. You just have to have that connection with your body, that connection to source or the universe, to really understand, the signs and synchronicities that you'll be receiving. Alright, now let's take a look at what Capricorn needs to know at this current point in time. What does Capricorn need to know at this current point in time? 1, we got the 2 swords that flipped out here. Now that, there's definitely some decision that needs to be made. You're really being asked to here step into your power with the King of Wands here, right? I feel like this rest is meant for you to step into this really extremely authentic, courageous, powerful version of yourself, so that maybe you can hear with the 8 of Cups, right? Walk away from things, people, places that are not in your greatest interest. They do not have, your highest good here at heart. Yep. Because here, the Ten of Swords, it's very interesting. The Ten of Swords flipped, but it also flipped back over. Because I felt the card flip in my hand as I was shuffling, and I looked down, the card was still face down. But when I pulled it out, it makes sense that it's the Ten of Swords, because above the Ten of Swords, rather, is again that King of Wands. And, I feel like you're going through this process of regeneration so that you can recreate yourself, so that you can find this courage to really walk away from these things that, are not serving you. And, it's from a place of authenticity, not fear. It's from a place of knowing that there's better out there for you, and you're realizing that you can easily avoid this. You can easily avoid betrayal with this, using this ability to just walk away. Use your intuition, right, when you really feel that things are for you. And that's what's going to, create with this Eight of Wands here. I feel like that's what's going to create this, fast forward momentum for you. That's when things are really going to start moving, when you start, moving out of authenticity, and you utilize your intuition as opposed to being reactionary and just, acting out of emotion. Yeah. And then we have this Justice card that just flipped. And, to me, I feel like you were meant to find yourself here. You were meant to get to this point, to this breaking point, rather, that, you realize if you want anything to change, if you're sick and tired of being betrayed, feeling stabbed in the back, you really need to level up, and the first place you need to look to do that is inside you, right? You need to look within, and you need to change certain aspects of yourself, the way that you operate. And a part of that is, connecting with your body, which the more connected you are to your body, the more connected you are to the universe, and it'll be that much easier for you to catch on, to be more aware of these signs and synchronicities. And then we have this Six of Wands that just flipped out, and I feel like, that's what's going to bring you to this success. You just have to listen to yourself, stay aware, stay conscious. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Of course, that pops out while I'm shuffling. Alright, so the last flipper we have here is the Page of Swords, which, it gives me the sort of vibe that one of the many things you're working on right now is your communication, right? I feel like you're really learning how to effectively communicate, and with that, I want to say, you're not being that to me speaks of, the whole not being reactive, right? Not acting out of emotion. That to me speaks of, taking that time with yourself to really take a look at what's going on, right? To really be able to look at things from a different perspective and understand them from that different perspective there. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Tower. Alright. I knew that was coming. I'm surprised that the Devil's not out here somewhere. And then we have the Star. Yeah, I feel like with the Six of Cups, you're really looking back on a lot of past situations. I feel like this could have a bit to do with relationships here, to do with connections that are on the more intimate side. Or maybe even, not even on the more intimate side. It could just be, connections in general, whether it's work, family, romance, because these are the connections that really affect us the most. So, out here in the spread, we have both the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands, which leads me to believe that this is more so about, like, romantic connections, but it could also be about family, okay, with that Ten of Cups. But regardless, here, alright. So yeah, as I was saying, the Six of Cups to me really speaks about, I wouldn't say reminiscing, but just, looking back into the past, right? You're thinking back through past events, past connections, and how things went down, what exactly happened. And you're more so looking back with the intent to learn, right? You're not looking back because you missed somebody or, anything like that. It's so you can sort of like recognize the pattern, right? And understand why these things keep happening, why certain events keep repeating themselves. And that here with the Tower is what's really gonna, like, shake up that internal, belief, not internal, but like that, it can shake up that belief system that you had, right? You could be changing your perception on a lot of things at this time, which I feel like is what the Tower is speaking to, because then with the Star, right, this is creating like a deep healing. And I mean, underneath that, right, what was underneath the Six of Cups was the Five of Swords. And, I feel like a lot of this started because, you're sick of feeling so defeated when it comes to, these personal connections. And that's what's really caused this, whoops, wrong card. Excuse me, that's what's really caused this introspection here. But at the same time, that is exactly what is needed in order for this major change to take place. And that's what will, help bring you to this place of healing. Alright, now to get into the actual tarot spread here, we have the Ten of Wands. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Followed by the Eight of Cups. Now, I definitely get the vibe here that this is more so speaking to, whatever it is you do for work, whatever your career is, I feel like that's really been weighing a lot on you. I feel like that's what sort of created a lot of these burdens. Because with the King of Pentacles, I feel like you're somebody that is really sort of hyper-focused on work. You're the kind of person that, when things are going wrong in your relationships, you just bury yourself in work to distract yourself, not think about it, not have to deal with it, right? And, you could have the kind of job that just really drains you. It keeps you very busy. It, takes up a lot of your time, especially if you're in a career that requires you to deal with people a lot. That could definitely drain you so much so to the point that when it comes to dealing with people in your life, dealing with people outside of work, you really don't have the energy. And that will seriously affect your connections, because if you don't have the energy to connect with people, how are you supposed to build something with them, right? And I get, wanting that security, that stability of, having a secure, well-paying job that will allow you to keep your independence. But at the same time, is it really worth the hit that you take? Excuse me, when it comes to your connections here. Because I feel like with this Eight of Cups, right, I get that you're sort of like deciding to walk away from that. Maybe you're going to start a new career. You'll start something new, whether, you start your own business or you just find something else that does not drain you and, create nearly as many burdens in your life as what you currently do. Excuse me. Now, next up, we have this Ten of Cups, followed by the Three of Pentacles, as well as the Four of Pentacles. Now with this, okay, I feel like this is speaking in particular to a connection that you have here with somebody that you see yourself having a life with, right? You see yourself having the family, the house, the pets, the kids, you see like multiple generations there, and it's really like emotional stability, right? And with the Three of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles, it's like, I feel like you have not really been focused on, working together on the situation. Again, I feel like you've been focused on work, and that's what could have caused this to like kind of go sideways in a sense, because here with the Four of Pentacles, you're holding on to something, right? And I feel like that's speaking to you holding on to the idea of a life that you see in your head with this individual. That could be something that you've even dreamt about, okay? Because I feel like, with the Ten of Pentacles preceding the Ten of Cups preceding the Eight of Cups, I feel like, you're walking away from this particular career path and towards, this individual that you would like to build a life with. Now, lastly, we have the Nine of Swords, followed by the Four of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles here. Now, I definitely feel like, this Nine of Swords is, representing how all of this has been affecting you, right? Because, walking away from something that has been providing for you for so long and then starting something new, it's going to create, anxiety. It's gonna, if you're the kind of person to really get stuck in your head, you're gonna create this anxiety loop where you're just constantly thinking about it, because you don't know what else to do, right? You're sort of stuck on this in a sense. Like, they could be like, recurring thoughts of things like, so what am I gonna do now? Like, now that I'm walking away from this, what am I going to walk towards, in the sense of something that will bring you stability, with this Four of Wands coming up next to it, right? Because you're now trying to rebuild this foundation so that you can have this Ten of Cups with this particular individual that you've been holding on to this entire time. I mean, honestly, this is, with the Hiding card, I get that, you could have walked away from this individual, and that's why you've been focusing so much on your career. That's why you've been focusing so much on work. You just, with the Ten of Wands, didn't have that energy to deal with both, a connection with somebody else, an emotional connection with somebody else. You had to choose between your emotional connection and your stability. And I feel like you chose your stability, which to most people would be like a wise choice. But here, I get that you're definitely being guided to walk away from whatever you do here as a career and start something new that might, that here with the, whoops, wrong side, the Page of Pentacles, start out with something smaller. I feel like you're going to be getting an offer, okay? As you're working on building this stable foundation here, you get an offer, right? You may have filled out a few applications for something new, or you may be looking towards something new, and you could be the one, offering your services to somebody else. Maybe you start your own business, because the King of Pentacles, he does speak to somebody who could be a business owner, or just somebody who is very high up in the ladder, right? But regardless here, I feel like, with this healing, that's going to help you here to open up emotionally and be vulnerable with yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you want, truly. And then once you figure that out, you'll be able to, with this Eight of Cups here, walk away towards this, emotionally fulfilling thing, whether it's a connection or just, something new. Like maybe you're pursuing a hobby that fulfills you emotionally, and this Three of Pentacles is speaking to, really networking and connecting with other people that you can work with, to collaborate with. And this Four of Pentacles here could definitely then, from that perspective, speak to like needing to, or feeling the need to maybe save a lot more so that you can invest in your own business, to invest in this new venture. And then with the Nine of Swords, that would make, that would still make sense, because, with this cat here and the Four of Pentacles, the ears are back, which represents a sort of like, it sort of looks angry, right? It sort of looks like it could very well be defensive, even when it comes to money and spending. Whatever is in that box underneath it, it is guarding it. So, I feel like you could definitely be, watching what you spend and how you spend it. And that is because, you want to contribute here. You want to create this stability here, this Four of Wands. You want to create this stability within self emotionally. You also want to create that stability external to yourself. And again, I feel like, you put yourself out here and you're collaborating with others, that will bring in an offer of something that seems small at first, but I feel like, that offer will have potential to really grow and bring you to a point where you would like to be. Let me leave that there. Alright, Capricorn, I think this is probably one of the longer videos. I try to keep them short, but it just doesn't work like that sometimes. So, I say all that to say, Capricorn, these are the messages that I have for you today, and I do hope they serve you well. Be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.